Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, July 17th, and I'm proud to announce that the YouTube and Twitch streams are back online. So, people getting those notifications now should breathe a sigh of relief, and those streams should be back for the foreseeable future. What else is back for the foreseeable future is earnings season. We've got lots of good earnings coming up. Maybe someone can post the earnings calendar for this week in the chat. But things are going to get exciting again. And one final note, sorry about my voice, feeling a bit under the weather, so probably won't talk too much today. But with all that being said, happy to kick us off and happy to get some excitement back in these markets, which have been kind of dead for the past couple months. Welcome back, Hardy.
Good morning, everyone.
There we go. So yeah, lots of earnings this week. I know we've got Tesla call. We're going to be listening to it live on the talk. I think, Ryler, are you hosting that?
Yes, sir. I'm posting the link in the chat right now. There it is. So it's Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. And we have almost 40 people interested right now, so that's pretty good.
Tesla. Who isn't interested?
Yeah, that's why when I was like scanning through the calendar, I was just like, what do we got? And I was like, that's the one.
We've also got John Wick playing today. So if anyone still hasn't seen John Wick, the original 2014 one, I'll drop a link for that as well in the comments in the chat. So tune in with Napalm.
I do want to point out that a lot of the bigger allocations of the queues have all crossed down from their gamma max, including QQQ itself. So I'm anticipating very short-term puts on queues. Still waiting for the market to open to see where the Greeks fall, but I'm anticipating 20 to 30 delta puts on the queues, not SQQQ specifically.
Hardy, have you looked into the NASDAQ 100 rebalancing? I think it's on the 26th.
I have not. Anything of note?
So the reason they're doing it is because they have like allocations that need to be met, and there's too heavy a concentration in like the top names, I guess, like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, etc. So I don't know if bringing them back into balance is going to affect the stock price for those individual companies. Wondering what you think.
Googling it quickly, I don't see the date for the rebalance. Here we go. July 24.
July 24th, right? Yeah.
So that would depend on how much money is in the different ETFs that follow NASDAQ 100. The short answer is I don't know.
But I guess my question is, do you think it would have an impact?
That's why I need to know the amount of cash that's in the ETF. Because if it's a $1 billion ETF against these trillion-dollar companies, probably nothing. If it's a $400 billion ETF, I need to pay attention.
Yeah. And being that QQQ and TQQQ are some of the most heavily traded, there's a lot of volume in there.
SPY, I think, is still out traded more than the Qs by like 18 to 1 or whatever the ratio is.
Mm-hmm.
That's partly why I'm not 100% sure this would work. But thank you for sharing the thesis.
No problem.
Yeah, it'll be definitely something to look at for sure. I do think we will be heading into some sort of bearish wave after the top companies get done reporting for the month of July.
If a lot of them beat earnings, I could see people taking profits after that.
Most definitely. We've been on a rip and tear ever since March. So I think we are at the running out of gas here. But speaking of, what is everybody's favorite earnings play for this week? We got some big hitters coming through. I know a lot of you guys are gonna say Tesla, so let's exclude Tesla.
I could see Netflix having some people playing that one. Nokia's on here. I didn't even know they were a still company. Go ahead, Georgia.
Yeah, Blackstone Incorporated. I've been posting and reposting the ticker BX. They're expected to have like 200, 300%. They're supposed to beat what their originally expected earnings were. They're expected to beat earnings. They're expected to do very well. And just simply on that basis, I'm playing them. trying to get in early, get out. If anybody sees any errors in that,
They're at Gamma Max. That's the big one. That's the big one for me. Oil always bounces back, J-Dog. It's a matter of timing, and that's a little less clear.
I'm not even playing it that way. I'm playing in the money. I guess I am, but I'm not using that criteria. I'm just putting low ball bids into the in the money call option. So
yeah, what's the strike?
So it's one of them, and so then after that I need like four others. I don't expect them to get filled. I just expect one of them to be filled.
Yeah. But what's the strike? What's the price?
Yeah. Okay. I have to. Okay. I'm trying to get in at a strike price of 104, with the expiration actually on July 21st. So I believe that's cutting it real close to the earnings. Their earnings are July 20th, and so that's one day to absorb whatever happened. And let's see, entry price. I'm trying to buy at 240, and I may get a little greedy and work that up $1 or two.
So you're expecting a halfway decent swing on Blackstone?
I am because of just simply for really one basic reason is earningswhispers.com is highlighting them. I mean, if you go over there, they're expected to be like, how does that work? Previously announced earnings, they're expected to beat it like 300%. So
if the expectations, would that not be already priced in?
For my low ball bid, I'm hoping no. But I mean, so that's my strategy, is to try to do the low ball bid. So the people who come to the table at the last moment are like, that's not really going to happen. I'll write an option on that, or hedges for other, they still want to do it.
So you want the spread and the delta to carry you through this play, correct?
I suppose so, but I'm not using those. I'm not using those. As I'm not using any technicals. I'm familiar with what you're talking about, and I've done it in the past. I'll just.
Well, this is WallStreetBets, so technicals don't always need to be part of the play.
Oh yeah,
Right.
for sure. I just wanted to get a general scope of your sentiment towards what you were playing. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, real simple for me because I'll keep it really simple. Low ball gamble. It's a low ball gamble. If my view is if you make enough of them, then it'll be okay. It's just that simple. I woke up this morning at 7:01. My previous low ball gambles they're all executed. They all went through. So I'm trying to create.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Seems good. Anybody else with any interesting plays coming into this week? I'm a big fan of LVS, Las Vegas Sands, going into this busy season. So they should have definitely something to report. Tesla, of course, Netflix. Should be a solid earnings week.
There's a company on Thursday called Intuitive. They make surgical robots. They are looking a little overvalued just from my quick math, but their earnings estimate is like much higher, so I don't see them beating it. So I just wanted to put that out there.
You got to play for it, or you just?
I'm working around it because it's more like I always keep my eye on healthcare stocks. Johnson & Johnson's another one reporting on. I think it's Team Day on Thursday. They have a lot more market share.
Yeah. Las Vegas Sands, they report on Wednesday, so July 19th, so in 2 days. And they recently had negative earnings for one quarter, then not positive earnings, and they're looking up. That's a good gamble, Las Vegas Sands.
Crocs is another good stock I'm holding right now. I would recommend you guys. It's at all-time highest interest right now. If you look at the history of Crocs with Google Trends, yeah.
As much as I hate how that shoe looks, people love it. Yeah. So it's a good hold, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then Temu, the app Temu. Have you guys heard of it?
I think everybody's heard of Temu. Actually, I just bought a shower hair off of there.
Yeah, I think it's PDD is their parent company ticker.
Yeah, PDD is the ticker, and it was in 2021. It was at 200. Now it's back at 77, and I bought. I don't know. I felt like it's gonna go up. What's your guys' opinion?
TVD?
EDD. Temu, the Chinese.
P as in Peter, D as in dog.
Papa Delta Delta.
Yeah, there you go. I can never do that.
I have a lot of friends who are online sales for years, and many of them are picking up Temu, whatever that means.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, for sure. My man sounds like Stephen Hawkins right now. I'm gonna let you get your audio together.
I wish I was that smart. Can you
Oh, where is it now? I was talking to Helpful High in the chat about Intuitive Surgical. They're almost at an all-time high. That's like one of the only things that's giving me pause, but stocks can always keep going up.
What's the ticker? Don't let that stop you though.
It's ISRG.
Yeah, that's the robotic surgery company, a Da Vinci robot, I think. Very cool. I've been keeping an eye on that one too. I'm trying to get in on that one as well. I think they've got a nice, bright future ahead of them.
What was the ticker called again?
ISRG, India Sierra Romeo Golf.
India.
You got it, man.
ISRG. ISRG.
Got some ham radio in you.
Yeah.
Former pilot.
Surgical.
It all makes sense now.
Can you guys hear me now? Is the voice better?
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Much better.
About Temu quickly. Sorry about that. I got a lot of
Yeah.
friends that are online sales for years and years, and a lot of them are getting onto Temu, including myself, whatever that means.
Yeah, I bought myself. My dad bought some. I told him to buy. And
Intuitive Surgical now is reporting just on the 20th.
Yeah, that's
So
Thursday.
That's going to be what, Wednesday? That's Wednesday.
Oh, I'm looking at the
Thursday. It's Thursday.
yeah after
That-
close.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The 20th is Thursday. Wednesday's the 19th. That's Tesla.
Yeah.
That's a good way of remembering.
in the
Got it.
Intuitive Surgical company, do they use AI or what's their?
I
How
don't
are they
know
unique?
to what extent. So their product is basically minimally invasive surgical equipment. So they have like a robot that can be in the surgical field while the surgeon is at a console nearby, and it's. I don't know if AI is involved other than like if there's plans to do it in the future, but I don't know anything off the top of my head.
What are they like
Mo-
the most modern or like are they like the Tesla?
Yeah, I mean
in
their
the
competitors.
medicine?
I mean to my knowledge, I don't think they have anyone that has that product. So they're like
They're pioneer in
BlackBerry
robotic
has the
surgery,
same
just like-
product.
Oh, they are the
Tesla.
pioneers.
Yeah, they're
Pioneers.
one of the pioneers in robotic surgeries and stuff. High precision, minimally invasive robotic surgeries. They're one of the
Yeah.
pioneers.
BlackBerry has the same technology. That's their main focus is IoT and healthcare.
BlackBerry.
Yes.
So the Intuitive Surgical, it does like there's like two things that come to mind. Is I knew an epileptic surgeon that would use their hardware, which would use their package over at Emory, and so going into the brain to to sever connections to stop the epileptic storm, and you can have really, really good hands, but they in his line of work, he's like severing like 7 connections in the brain, and they're really small connections. So you have to like gain access through like a hole in the skull, basically, and then you start using the robots to go in to do like as little damage as possible. So these are like, you have to remember that these are people that like they cannot drive, they cannot live normal lives because they're constantly in seizure, and they actually survive this long. So they're willing to go through the procedure. Their quality of life is not very good. So there you go.
Did someone say BlackBerry has a similar product? Who has a similar product to ISRG?
That's what somebody said, and
This BlackBerry. BlackBerry is their main focus of their corporation is IoT. I've listened into their earnings calls because I own lots of shares of them due to the realm and the space that they take up in healthcare, not because of whatever popular thing that they're known for.
but do they have this on the market yet? I just haven't.
Do they have a
seen it.
robot?
It's been used in hospitals all over.
What
It's
is
their
it used?
software that they use for security. The software that they use for healthcare security.
That's not the same as this.
That's the reason why. It's the reason why hospitals don't get Wi-Fi service
I
or
believe
cellular
it's,
service
No, that's different.
because they have
so
to
ISRG sells
prioritize this.
ISRG. They're focused on robotic surgeries. I don't see anything on BlackBerry's.
It's
menu
IoT software that it provides that facilitates the robotic surgeries.
Well, so I think what we're saying is the Intuitive is making equipment, it's equipment and the software. So it sounds like BlackBerry is just on the software end.
Gonna merge it all.
Yeah, BlackBerry is just on the security side of it. I don't see anything that BlackBerry has that's even close to what ISRG is doing.
I've actually used one of their things. I was at a
ISRG.
blood and guts museum, I believe, in Edinburgh, and with the ISRG actual equipment, you could use it for like painting and shit. But if if a surgeon's actually really good at it, you can like have 4 hands and have like one hold. Like if you're trying to do surgery on say like a heart or some shit, you can have it to where you can like open it up, have it hold there, and then like go in with 2 stencils. I'm not a fucking doctor, but like go in with 2 and then do surgery there and have it to where it's like opened up. It's really like sensitive. For those of you who play games and all that, it's similar to VR because you can stick your head in it. It's like a VR headset, but you can't move it.
Mhm.
But you can. It's like having a VR headset, but having like 2 mice and trying to do shit that way. But
Well,
it's
like-
actually
Yeah, I mean,
it's really cool.
The whole purpose behind it is if you got these surgeons that are the undisputed experts in their field, that the surgeon can be in California doing surgery in New York, so
I
he
thought
doesn't
the
have to.
purpose was to allow for minimally invasive surgery.
Correct.
So instead of requiring an incision large enough to fit a surgeon's hand, the incision now only needs to fit what amounts to a 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch diameter tube.
Yeah, and,
that's
and they
right.
also have
Yeah.
more hands than the doctor, so that's one of the benefits.
Right.
Well,
I got
to be
you.
fair, the
And it's not-
doctor
and-
has 8 pinch points, the thumb and each of the fingers. So when you go by pinch points of the Da Vinci system, for example, I think it's up to 6. So it's not quite the same as doctor's hands.
Yeah, it
You
seems
guys-
to
you
be
guys
based
just-
off of laparoscopic surgery.
Yeah, and it's
The-
networkable, so you can do it remotely.
Yeah, look,
Well, the remotely is only for the portions that require proper expert hands. I'm sure there's still a local surgeon to handle emergencies, take care of bleeds, clots, etc.
They like the headsets and the little hand
actually-
gear and stuff. All
the-
that stuff is just and doing it remote. All that stuff is just fancy. The main application is a endoscope, right? That's the main application. So it's a
Well,
tube
that's
that
the
has a
business end of it.
It says a tube that has a camera on it, and once you have the tube in place, because they'll just like put a needle in there with like a straw, and then they'll leave the straw and they remove the needle, and then they put the endoscope through the straw. Okay, and then so there's a camera at the end of it, and it goes places where a hand, a surgeon's hands or even an excellent surgeon using like anything really would really seriously mess things up, like the human brain or the human heart or deep inside of an organ, anything like that. And so you can get to see what it is that you're actually doing at the end of the endoscope. And all the VR headsets and all that stuff and doing it remote, that's just fancy gizmos for having a tool go down the endoscope, and that you can control it just using keyboard or like a joystick type of thing.
Well, in this case, they're using like a console that they operate within the operating room.
Right.
I'm looking at the Intuitive.com products.
Do they use a Logitech controller?
I was thinking the same thing.
And GE Healthcare is in the same space as well. And I was in a room with one of the senior manufacturers doing a lot of similar stuff there.
Oh.
Has anybody looked at has anybody, this is a good one, has anybody found something that's expected to have good earnings that hasn't been priced in yet? It hasn't started moving? Maybe all the way on the tail end?
Yeah, Rivian.
I don't know about that one.
Well, I think their earnings are August 8th or something like that. But I don't know how much steam is left in that one because they've been moving up based on news about new orders, right?
Yeah, I thought their forward guidance was supposed to be better than.
Yeah, but Amazon. I'm so confused, man. I don't understand how this company can't be successful. They have Amazon behind them. They have all the money in the world, and I don't see how they can't be competitive enough.
Because the margins are too thin.
How many cars are they delivering?
Well, once the infrastructure's in place, and I heard they were just like doing really bad at putting the cars together. Like parts don't show up, they don't order a part until they actually need it. So they gotta wait 2 weeks, and so people are just standing around. That's what I heard a bunch of stuff like that.
I can't believe that because
how engineering or I guess manufacturing works. It's called just-in-time manufacturing because they don't want to spend the money on the warehousing space, so they generally don't have a ton of parts on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, it says they're in collaboration with Amazon. Like what? Like are your side rear view, your side mirrors? Are they come in an Amazon box and they
collaboration with Amazon
put
sounds
those on
like
at
they're
the
using
end?
AWS.
Well, once they figure it out, I think it'll make money. Or
Tesla's main distinction versus pretty much any other auto manufacturer is how vertically integrated they are. To what extent that's useful is to be determined.
And they're so far ahead too. They're so far ahead.
But that was the thing about Tesla. That was the thing about Tesla. It wasn't if it could be done or not. It was the scalability of doing it on a small scale and taking the small scale and leaping forward to large numbers of deliveries. But isn't Fisker? Fisker's now has delivered like 20,000 vehicles. Fisker's like you can get a vehicle from there.
I just want to say I see in Atlanta. I live in downtown Atlanta, like the like Buckhead, and I see Rivians all the time. It's not the same one either. Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, they're building themselves undercover.
I'm not far from it. I'm in Decatur. So
yeah, I see them all the time downtown, but I see a lot of cars all the time because there are a lot. So,
have you guys heard of the Turkish car, Tog? It's also an electric car. You
Let's hear
spell it TOGG. It's pretty new because the economic crisis in Turkey, people can't afford cars from foreign countries because they're really expensive and the currency is weak, so they made their own car, which goes for cheaper now. And they're also exporting to Germany, which which is a bit difficult to be competitive there, but yeah, they're growing right now, and they have a few different models, which
Are they
look pretty
publicly
decent
traded?
in my opinion.
Are they
Sorry?
publicly traded? Is it a public company? Is it the company on the stock market?
I'm looking for it, but I can't find so I'm not really sure if they're public yet.
Well, if you find it, let us know.
All right. Oh,
Just want to say, as far as vehicles go, like Jeeps are the best. Period.
yeah, their car is an SUV.
Jeep,
Oh, you mean the Jeep, the brand?
Yeah. They just. Actually, their newer cars kind of suck. Their newer Jeeps are kind of shitty, but
I think
that's the best vehicle there is, Jeep.
they were working on a hybrid for the Jeep.
Yeah, they got the 4xe, which is electric, but yeah, a hybrid would help get over some rocks, you know?
It's totally electric.
Yeah, it's all electric. It's called the 4xe.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Oh, y'all didn't know that? You didn't know there was an electric Jeep?
Now, I seen the commercial the other day. I just wanted to confirm. But
Well, there's a difference between a hybrid and all electric. You said it was
not a hybrid.
It's all electric.
I think this is all electric.
that's cool too.
Yeah. But I think a hybrid would do well because, being the type of vehicle it is, they you got to have juice to get over rocks.
I'm hoping all these chickens makes interest diverse and goes away from BX from Brookstone. Oh yeah, I'll get my price.
Turkey launches top car advanced prestige project.
What's the safest earnings play to make? Like if we were buying, if we're buying today, it would be an earnings play that where they report better than expected, and such things not priced in. So how far out we gotta look for that?
That's a good question.
And like with Brookstone, they're expected to do well, and so what I'm counting on is it's not the name or it's not the business, but there really is the speculators, because how well they do and how valuable that is, that's anybody's call, really. But so we have a spotlight on them till I guess Thursday.
All right, let's look at these plays real quick. Has anybody been playing? Anybody have any Riot or Hut bags? HUT, the mining companies, Bitcoin mining companies. They've been doing very well over the past month.
Yeah, there's one that trades out on the OTC that went from like 10 cents to like 42 cents. It was a mining cryptocurrency. But the way that I'm trying to look for the ticker again. But the way that they were reading was that they do everything with crypto. They're a bank. They're a miner. They're an exchange. I thought, I don't know, dangerous stuff.
Yeah, I gotta look. I mean, I don't have much. I've just they were talking about it on here. I believe last week, or maybe the week before, and I grabbed a little bit, and it's been doing well.
Riot.
Yeah, Riot and Hut. HUT.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, and swinging up for a good month.
Mm-hmm.
Doubled in a month.
Pin that in the parking lot. You made a DD post recently about going short on Wayfair. Did you want to give any details on that? You there?
Well, Wayfair is definitely losing money quarterly.
But yeah, they have a pretty solid post where they actually took it was almost like a crowdsourced effort where people were looking into it on the Discord here in the stocks and options channel, and he summarized it in a DD post, and I think it's pinned on the sub right now if anyone's interested.
Maintained at a neutral by Goldman Sachs. It's always good to be neutral because you can move up in your rankings, and then, well, if they change their rankings, it's a worthy trade. They're at a high. Ooh. Well, seeing that they lose money and that they're at very close to their 52-week high, I wouldn't buy them and expect them to go further.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's taking 2 weeks for them to rise and then like 3 days for them to fall back. Ooh. It's probably a pretty safe bet if you go out a considerable amount of time and they're leap puts. For Wayfair, I think that would be one of your safest bets is a long-term put. And there's not a lot of them being purchased. They're expensive. EarningsWhisperers.com is definitely affecting stock prices. There's unrealistic spikes occurring. I mean, they're backed by good business news, yes, but it's gamblers and greed that is pushing spikes. So so if you buy a ticker that's going up, that is spiking up, just make sure what Earnings Whisper has said about it lightly, because it'll just come right back down and just ruin your life, basically. Using that same way of thinking does, I mean, at like 701, all my shares sold, and I don't want to. I've if you go to my server, I published what I'm talking about. The ticker that I'm, but I don't think that. No, I wouldn't want to really say that this is a good one. This is only like a low ball bid. If you can get much lower than what the market wants, only then is a good idea, because it's artificially pushed higher. So that's how that works.
I know how you guys and girls sometimes like to talk about movies and whatever difference that makes. Mission Impossible is going to be a huge hit. The start of the show, I was talking to in South Beach, and he's going everywhere to the premieres of the show. And I also think that Barbie's not going to do what they think it's going to do. If that means anything to any of you.
Bombs? Hmm.
Oh yeah, Tom Cruise showed up at I believe it was AMC in Atlanta last night, or the night before, for the Mission Impossible premiere. That's yeah, that's good for business.
Yeah, he showed up in Atlanta, and then he showed up in South Beach. I was lucky enough to work with him on Rock of Ages for months and months. So yeah, it's very good move. Very good movies doing going to these premieres.
Yeah, that's good for business for sure. Like,
People want to see these practical movies. All the stuff is practical, meaning not a lot of CGI and things like that, and big screen movies.
oh yeah.
Pixar, that's not doing very well because I think people with TVs have big TVs of whatever now. They can watch Pixar on their television, and it doesn't give them the greatness of being the big screen. That thing's happening with Pixar because of the streaming situation.
You are breaking up one minute. Beats.
Well,
Talking about movies, does anyone believe the Barbie movie can get any more Barbie sales in?
The Barbie movie is for fans of Barbie, not the
It's
other way
huge.
around.
Well, I recently saw an Instagram account for the movie Barbie, and it already has over 1 million followers.
Right. How many of those are millennial or slightly older women who grew up with Barbies, who now have the disposable income to spend on more Barbie shit?
or their daughters.
Same can be said for American Girl dolls, or Hello Kitty, or Salutation Feline.
I think when people start seeing the movie Barbie, they're going to realize it's not what they thought it was. It's a whole nother situation, and it's not going to do well. They did great marketing. They're trying to push it, but it's not going to do. I don't think it's going to do huge business like Mission Impossible.
It's also unclear to what the thesis that someone else shared was it'll influence merchandise sales. So Mattel and whoever's producing the Barbie movie are trying to mimic the Disney model.
It's huge with girls. It's huge with little girls. They're doing they have big events going on for like big Barbie events going on in Atlanta for little girls.
Artists are making music about the song, about the movie, I mean.
Yeah.
So I believe in the movie.
Well, I've noticed that anything that was popular from millennials is being pushed hard. Like you walk through Target and there's like Sonic the Hedgehog toys and shirts and things, and I mean besides the movie, like there hasn't been too much going on with that franchise. Just like in general, I've noticed that like there's a very just like nostalgia in general is like very popular. Especially like we have how many movies are reboots or sequels that come out 30 years later, like Indiana Jones.
Is this the first? Isn't this the first Barbie movie?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, Barbie is like
it's the
an
first live action, but there have been Barbie movies in the
past. This is the first live. Yeah,
which is effectively a remake of an animated version from way back when.
What do they even do in the movie? Do you guys know? Do they just walk around in the Barbie world?
No, she goes to the. It's PG-13. She goes to the real world. Barbie and Ken are having a time of their lives, and I'm reading it. They get a chance to go to the real world, where they soon discover the joys and perils of living among humans. PG-13.
How are they going to keep that?
I don't think it's going to make it. I don't think the last 5 minutes till opening deserves to have Barbie to be talked about for it. I think something more important than Barbie should be talked about. I'm kidding. Anyway, I think it's going to be a not as good as everyone thinks it is going to be.
I concur.
Just about Temu, the app Temu. I haven't heard a lot about Temu from you guys. Is it because it's not that interesting, or because all I hear is Temu right now on social media? The ads are full of Temu. They're giving out free stuff, and
Temu is just a reincarnation of Wish.com.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed.
The ads,
but it's booming right now.
The ads purporting $0 items require you to refer some number of people. So it's booming in part because it's a forced network effect.
Alright, so isn't that innovative? So you can't compare it to Wish, can you?
Well,
they're attempting to become Wish.
I've heard more about Temu than Wish, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe in the US it's a bit more popular. Maybe Wish is because here you don't really order from Wish in Germany that much.
What about
is
AliExpress?
US.
It is along the lines of Wish. It is along the lines of Wish where the pictures are sort of embellishments of the product. So like the picture may have a remote control with an LED, and the LED shows up and it doesn't have a remote control. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I don't think it's quite as bad as it was with Wish, but I mean, I think there are some embellished.
I kind of think it could be worse because has anyone seen the advertisement for the $7 Switch that they supposedly have on Temu? Like, that is blatant, like, theft of IP or trademark.
But the way
I talked about Temu. I talked about
300
Temu
referrals into the platform.
Sorry.
I talked about Temu about a month ago, and you're right. There is going to be some problem with trademarking. I've seen that, but Temu, I'm ordering from them. Others have ordered, and it's a very simple process. And the free shipping and low prices, for me, had nothing to do with getting friends on it. It's just there for you. But anyway, I got products in quickly. Well, a week, and the products what were listed.
Yeah. And when comparing it to Wish, you don't see the same hype back then when Wish was new, or when they started marketing Wish. But yeah, I'm just blown away with the marketing they're doing right now because I see them everywhere. I don't know. Maybe that's my.
Wanted to say something.
Good boys, how are we doing?
What would you like to share with us?
I just wanted to say what's up, and I appreciate all the opinions. And I'm looking forward to making a lot of money. I can tell you guys what I'm in on right now. It's not much, but you guys can tell me what you think. I put a ton of money in the United Health group when we talked about that last week. For their shares going their profit, their Q3 profit. And then I'm in the Yellow Corp, Canopy Growth Corp, and PVL. I'm not doing well in any of them, boys, but I'm hoping that'll change.
All right, thank you for sharing.
The last thing I wanted to say about Temu is I think Temu should be compared more to Alibaba than to Wish and things like that.
As we approach hurricane season, has anyone?
I'll agree with that.
Has anyone given a thought to buying up U.S. refineries? None?
It's not in my scope right now. Let's hear it.
Basically, the thesis is that if a hurricane is able to knock out any meaningful refining capacity, local energy costs go up. So, a good example would be Texas. I believe Chesapeake Energy, ironically enough, has more Texas facilities than Chesapeake Bay facilities. Go figure. So, I imagine they would be negatively impacted if they have to take a large capital expense to rebuild the infrastructure they've been neglecting to maintain.
Maybe on the maintenance. So wasn't Rig a company that took care and worked on oil rigs? Wouldn't it be maybe the better play if there was a hurricane in the Gulf?
Rig is owned and operated correctly. They're not contracting out oil rig management services. So the problem with that, Leopard, is I don't know when the hurricane's going to hit. And I unfortunately am not particularly good with meteorology.
Does anyone have any news in the sports niche?
Not specifically. What did you have in mind?
I was thinking about golf. I feel like it's trending right now with all the celebrities promoting it.
Oh yeah, I just seen
like DJ Khaled.
But isn't that because of the Saudis creating a new tour to compete against the PGA?
Steph Curry, DJ Khaled, and some other a bit smaller celebrities I've been following.
The Saudi league, the Live and PGA have merged. It's one now. LIV and PGA have merged. It's I believe it's all one now.
Thank you for the update, Josh Endo.
Nerdbot, what were you saying about golf?
Oh, I was just saying I've been seeing a lot of stuff about in social media. Like I just seen that Steph Curry video of a hole in one like eight times. I mean that's good for golf when a basketball player, like one of the basketball players, comes over and gets a hole in one. Like he's not Jordan, right?
Market open.
Yeah,
I got 929.
Yeah, I was about to say my chart didn't move yet.
I said less than a minute to market open, so I didn't say it was.
Oh, I think you got cut off.
Yeah, you got
That's
cut
probably
off.
what
Sorry,
happened.
man.
Yeah, all we heard was market open. But
And now it's open. Ooh, it's all green.
Yes, we love green.
I'm seeing a bunch of red right now.
Dow is down. Nasdaq and S&P are up.
I bet that's because of Tesla.
Tesla and Nvidia both go up. No surprise there.
So I'll tell you what one of my moves here is likely to be is that their earnings as they are unfolding and as they're reported, it affects people's emotions. So and what their expectations are, and so this is excellent for like low bidding. So
VIX is up. VIX is up 4%.
Well, so that's where I'm gonna place. That's where I'm gonna put my focus. So whatever something is trading at, don't buy something that's losing money quarter after quarter. I mean, you can mess around like with that type of stuff, and like if you feel that it's necessary, but it's not necessary. Just whatever something's trading at, might knock off 1 or 2%. Put your order in on that. It might get filled.
Mullins up
Activision's
5%.
Oh, and I wanted to
Activision's
mention
3%.
for people that can't afford the premiums to buy options on Tesla, the ticker TSLL has options on it, but there's a lot less volume on it, but it's like hundreds of dollars less.
Thank you.
Per contract.
Yeah, and they're up pretty good today too. 3.75% right now. Oh, they're starting to fall back. Oh, they're jumping. They're still well over 3.5%. Is the main thing.
Does anyone know if there's a ticker, what the ticker is for Webull?
Are they even publicly traded? That's a brokerage firm.
Oh, TerraWolf is doing well.
Yeah, I did not know this. Webull is owned by Fumi Technology, with headquarters in New York City and a tech team in Hunan, China.
Yeah, I read that. So the symbol is.
I'm having a hard time finding who it is. Apparently, they got a profile on Nasdaq.
Yeah, I have the same difficulty trying to find this.
I believe Fumi's private. Because I'm on
It's looking like it.
Crunchbase and it says it's private.
So I got a question for you guys. So if Mullen is delivering cars or about to start delivering cars, do you not think they're worth, I mean, even potentially worth 10%, 5% of what Tesla is? I mean, potentially.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. The way that you present it. I want to bring up that Mullins trading at 16 cents.
That's, I mean, I feel like for an EV maker, that's just like, I mean, it's a value play for sure. It's a deep value play, but
well, they're gonna have what 30 to 60 days before they become delisted, so they're gonna have to do something. And they have already done a 1 for 100 reverse stock split.
Mm-hmm.
So this 16 cents covers previously 100 shares. I would watch very closely what they're making and if they're able to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
You bring up an excellent point.
I had $40 in Mullen, so I had like 400, or I had a solid 400 shares of Mullen before they did the reverse split, and then I lost my whole basis of buying Mullen, which was I was doing it so I could sell covered calls and then eventually get the principal back. And I
diluted out from underneath you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I couldn't try to get my principal back the moment they did that because I no longer had enough shares because I went from 400 to 16.
Oh, I thought you were going to go from 400 to 4.
I don't think it was 100 to 1 split because I know I had 400 and then 50 to 1, yeah.
1, something like that. It wasn't 100 to 1, but they actually did 2 reverse splits. They did a 50 to 1, and then they did another one that was less than that. But Mullen is a shit show. I mean, they're basically enriching themselves. The C-suite is enriching themselves with shareholder money. They keep diluting the stock. I mean, it's just shit show.
Wow.
The number of units that they have to deliver needs to be. I mean, they got a $308,000 deal that they delivered on, but $308,000 is not going to do anything for their stock when they have billions of shares outstanding. So I mean, I don't know. I would stay away from that one.
Yeah. 100%. I'm just saying, potentially in the future, if they can get their shit together. I mean, nobody can say that Elon hasn't gotten rich off Tesla. But yeah, I feel like that should be a, after you're making money type thing. What do you guys think is gonna happen with Elon and Dogecoin? Like he's getting sued for pumping it. The whole, like, him changing the Twitter logo.
Sorry, I'm trying to modify my Brookstone option.
I think the Elon Dogecoin thing is going to be a nothing burger.
And so,
I mean, if somebody's pumping a meme coin and you're dumb enough to.
No, what do you think is going to happen to him? Because they like are saying that once he did that, changed the logo, that these 2 specific wallets like just sold billions worth of Dogecoin, and they're trying to link it to him. That's like fraud. That's like fraud, right?
How can they prove it though?
Well, fraud would require, one of the elements of fraud requires that the other person be financially injured by it, and you have to show that that action on the part was malicious intent,
Mm-hmm.
and that he intended to defraud those people that lost money. And I don't know if they can prove that, because if somebody, people have to they have to use their own judgment.
I mean, there's cause and effect. I mean, there's pumping the coin, and then selling a bunch off the back end, and that causes people to lose their money, retail to lose their money, really.
Well,
how's that any different?
How's that any different than analysts or Jim Cramer saying, like the Jim Cramer effect? How's it any different?
Exactly.
Or
they should put him in jail.
How's it different than Cramer us talking about stocks on this call?
Right. It's like,
there was nothing going on.
It would have to be a judge that's like a severe Elon hater to even try something like that. But I don't know. That's a long shot. But you can sue anyone for anything, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's merit to the suit. I see that as a nothing.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. That's excellent. I just wanted y'all's opinion. I feel like it probably is going to be too. Nobody rich ever gets in trouble. All right, I got to jump off here for a minute, y'all.
Have a good one.
Happy trades.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Because we're talking about coins quickly, and I talked about Webull. The reason why I talked about Webull was they pulled their crypto off of their platform, put it on an app called Webull Pay, which is the worst platform I've ever seen.
Wow.
And they're no longer dealing with cryptocurrencies. It's like they're afraid.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of those payment for order flow brokers that have been popping up over the years. I think one of their selling points was they added crypto. So like Robinhood and SoFi Invest has it, and Webull, and I've noticed like they're scaling back on stuff like that now. But I don't know if I didn't see any actual news on like what caused that, but it's something for concern.
Anyone that has crypto on Webull got an email. You have to get the app Webull Pay, and that's where your crypto is going to be. And you have to sign up again with your bank and everything. So they totally pulled away, and there's no charting. It's just terrible.
And that's why whenever people ask like what brokers you recommend for someone just starting out, I don't even mention those anymore. Like they're basically just like a nice interface or fancy tools, but I don't really trust any of the new ones too much.
I agree. That's why I don't mind paying higher fees at Coinbase. I don't have to worry about rug pulls like that. I want the company that I use to buy crypto to make money so that they stay around, right? So it's like a love-hate relationship. I hate the fees, but at the same time, I love the fact that I can sleep at night and not worry about what's happening to my crypto.
I woke. Sorry.
No. Oh my god. Am I unmuted? My bad.
So I woke up to a small profit this morning. Now we're going to see how quickly I can lose it. And Blackstone. Option expiring on the 21st. I could very likely do a great job of losing money here.
RE is up almost 3% today.
I wonder if there's any news on it. It's weird that it's been hovering in the 38 to 40 cents range for like, feels like a month or longer now, but I think they have earnings coming up too.
Who is this you're talking about?
RE Automotive.
RE, REE, Romeo Echo Echo.
Oh, yeah.
They are August 16th is their next report date.
I have
tonight, for those playing Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab has a milestone of a launch tonight. They're going to try to recover the first stage booster, kind of like what SpaceX does when they're recovering the boosters. And the reason it's important is because it changes the economics of their pricing for doing launches. If they can recover those, it makes it a lot less expensive for them to do future launches. So it's good for the bottom line.
Third ticker.
RKLB, Romeo Kilo Lima Bravo. RKLB.
Up 2% today.
Yeah, that launches at 7:30 Eastern tonight. For those that are interested in catching that.
The IV. Oh my gosh! Look at what it is for those $7 calls, or the bid ask spread. See what it tells me. Implied volatility on the $7 call is only 115%, but the premium is the bid ask spread is about 5 cents. So the ask is 15. I think I'll gonna be a bit bearish on them. I bought some $5 puts. Yeah. I could do a straddle if I really want to. What's your guys' thought?
Well, I sold $6 puts expiring on Friday, and whoever bought those is down 63% on those right now.
Thanks. Well, I mean, they are quite a bit above that, so.
Yeah. Well, it's had a nice run up recently. I mean, stock is
it'll be interesting to see. I'm basically thinking that this might be a failure, and if it fails, their price is going to tank.
Yes.
But I'm trying to decide if it's worth paying the money for the straddle.
Yeah, the probability of failure is always higher on attempts like this.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with the Bears position on it.
If you realize that that's another mode of belief, it's like a good thing to believe. Maybe it's true. It's good if everyone believes it.
Trying to convince my girlfriend to come on so she can be the lady friend. Excellent stock picker.
You should get her on the show.
But we're arguing back and forth because we're sitting next to each other.
No.
Yeah, there you go. Her speaker's coming over here, and then she's complaining about whether I leave my mic on or not.
Okay.
Believe about the other side.
But whoever it was that was earlier talking about PVL, this is Permianville Royalty Trust units. And they said that that it wasn't doing stellar, and I feel kind of bad because the only way people I think would come across this ticker is because of my big mouth on an asset play like this. It's not about their business model is zero to do with advertising, and more has to do with the value of the underlying assets. So if anything changes in a stock buyer's mind, then it likely changes in other stock buyers' minds. So what earnings seasons does is it'll create a few blips down. It will trade down on occasion, and not for very long. Like we're talking about like an hour or so. And so that's the play on these trusts and so forth. They have assets, and you're getting them at a discount. So however many shares that you then subsequently buy and sell, that's really the play. They're never going to make you a fortune unless you keep on doing it for 30 years. And you're picking them up, 3 or 4 shares every earnings season for a very long time. It's just money in the bank. And on that one, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Monthly dividend. So right now it's yielding 15% and they pay dividends monthly. So everything's kind of nice about this ticker symbol. What you want to do is you want to low bid them. Put in a bid. Don't expect your bid to go through. Just intentionally do it lower. So what you're essentially doing is you're asking from the market something that the market should not give you. And if your trade goes through, then you've got it. That's good. That's how I play those.
The chat, I think Leaf and Leopard, Liquid Death. That's the caffeinated sparkling water, isn't it?
I don't think it's caffeinated. It's just regular flavored sparkling water, and they also have regular water in a can. They have been. Oh, they do have tea though. So those have caffeine in them, but I think their whole concept is like it's mostly about the marketing and the artwork. Like they are also popular amongst people that abstain from alcohol. So like if you hang out at a party and you're holding a can of that, people
You
feel
look cool.
Yeah.
So I was looking. I looked them up on Google, and it says what's so special about Liquid Death, and it says according to information on Liquid Death's website, the company uses aluminum container, and even encourages quote death to plastic as a way to be more environmentally friendly.
Yeah, it's basically an edgy water company that is selling you a can and an idea.
They do also have iced teas, apparently.
Yeah, so the names of them are because I saw it in Target recently. There's Grim Leafer, and instead of Arnold Palmer, it's Armless Palmer. So they have cool names.
Bury It Alive, Convicted Melon, Rest in Peach, Grim Reaper, Slaughterberry.
Severed Lime is one of them.
Oh, get free koozies.
So basically, it's like our Green Bear energy drink idea from way back.
What was that?
Something in a can that sounds cool.
Oh yeah.
To be sold for money.
It's a lifestyle. It's not a drink.
So if you give them your email, you'll get a free koozie 2-pack with your first purchase at $25 or more. Literally says "murder your thirst" on the can. Wow. Natural artisan water. Some pretty whack stuff on the boxes. I know they sell them in at least at the Walmart I work at. Limited edition art on the bottom of each case.
My friend.
They also sell.
I know someone that owns an art gallery in Los Angeles, and they drop off like pallets of Liquid Death so that they give them out to people. So they're trying to infiltrate the art scene.
Monster has a product called Tour Water.
Pour water?
Tour Water. Doesn't like band tours or.
Oh, that makes sense. Maybe
tours.
that's an attempt to capture some market share from them.
I think actually Monster was the first one to do it, but they didn't sell their Tour Water. It was like a kind of a collector's item among Monster collectors. It was mostly for promoters or people who worked on tours to make it look like they were drinking Monster. But they started selling it after there was demand for some reason. The market works in mysterious ways.
The big news on on TikTok, sorry, for Liquid Death was that the adults thought the kids were drinking alcohol, and they they went with that. No, it's water. They love that marketing in the beginning.
And I don't know if you guys noticed this too, but a lot of the craft brewers are putting out non-alcoholic beverages, and I think that it's becoming cool now to drink less or abstain. So that's like probably part of the whole movement with that.
On the flasket, it only has a 6 ounce capacity, but it's $35.
Oh, that's nothing.
Says death to plastic on the side. What do you know?
So
Sorry, go ahead.
have we talked about refrigerants at all?
I didn't
Not
hear.
recently.
I'm thinking there is a trade to be made on refrigerants somewhere, given the heat wave and the number of people who don't understand how to maintain their air conditioning units. And people, by the way, extends to apartment companies who seem completely clueless on maintenance anymore because the real estate bubble has just had everybody passing around apartment complexes just back and forth without any actual maintenance until things just completely break. So I think that the AC companies and by extension the refrigerant companies are going to make bank somewhere along the line, and it'll come out this fall. So, put up a dartboard with all the publicly traded refrigerant manufacturers and throw some darts at it, or ask the chickens. And there you have it.
Okay, so here's here's one. Here's the earnings play. Um, and I I don't like bringing this one up because there's not a whole lot of due diligence, and also I don't have the money myself to execute on it. But the play would be ticker NEOG. The earnings announcement is coming out July 27th. The expected 62.5% increase in revenue. The play would be to open one contract for a day later, July 28th, expiring on July 28th. You have enough time to enter in a limit order. you would certainly make money if you could execute that option contract at 60 cents a share or quoted as 0.60. They're selling at 75 and 80. But you have a full week. That play I would do. I would not just buy the options contract. I would lowball it. Stock price took a little bit of a tumble. Yep, it is one of the upcoming earnings announcements that is expected to be very good. So you can ask questions like, is it priced in and so forth. I think if you lowball it, not everybody's going to be able to get in. But if you can execute a lowball, it's one of multiple that I'll come up with. I think you'll make money. Not a lot, not tons and tons, but I mean, I think you make, 10, 15, $25 per contract. Just be careful how you execute it.
So, in the interests of stimulating discussion, and since I've been more brain damaged than usual recently, can anybody catch me up on anything interesting that I've missed? Which has probably been a lot.
I'm not sure that I heard that correctly. Part of it has to do with that I was typing, and the other part of it has to do with it. I'm not sure if I heard it correctly.
In the interests of being entertaining, what did you hear?
I'm not sure what I'm not sure what I heard.
So, did you hear about Meta coming out with their own version of Twitter?
Oh yeah, that I think is a big old nothing burger. So they say, oh, look at our subscriber growth or whatever. To enroll in that. And I mean, they're probably just counting existing users who click a button and then never use the service again, because you can't unsubscribe or unenroll or whatever without deleting your entire Instagram account. So it's just a bunch of, oh, look at us, please buy our stonks and inflate our stonk price.
Oh, that is insightful. That's insightful information. That's pretty good.
Zuck knows how the shell game is played. He's kind of an idiot, but kind of not. So basically, he belongs here.
Oh. Huh.
Just wondering when we're supposed to get that $500,000 that Facebook's giving everyone. didn't know if anyone had all those scams hitting them up.
You know, thinking, and this is something somebody should keep an eye on. Whoever leverages an AI model to deal with the bot problems and apply it in a platform agnostic way is going to make bank. So if you see somebody that figures that out and they're public, I would buy it. I would buy it and just hold on to it, because we're in a time when a lot of things that we're seeing in science fiction are coming to fruition, right? And if somebody can come up with something like the Net Watch from the cyberpunk universe, or something, or the Black Wall, and I know this is really geeky of me, but basically an AI that polices bots and keeps them under control for everybody, that's going to be the killer app moving forward, I think.
Also, that's pretty insightful. That is pretty good, because
Interesting idea.
It answers the question: how is money made through AI? I don't know about.
There was a request to talk about Wayfair. So my puts are getting killed. Pick up some calls to limit downside. Wait till retail sales tomorrow before I cut those puts if I have to.
It's up. Yeah. Well, look at that. Your puts are getting killed by a company that's losing money. So, I figured.
How can a company that makes such garbage do so well?
Well, so if you want to put on a tinfoil hat for a second, Wayfair has a convertible note with a bunch of banks, and the banks can convert that note if the share price stays above about 62 for, I think it's 10 or 20 days in October. So there's been a lot of bank upgrades recently. Tinfoil hat theory is that banks are going to try and pump this, squeeze it during earnings, and keep it above 62 until October. They can convert their notes and sell for, if that'd be like a 50% gain on $70 million in about 4 months.
It's also pretty insightful.
So there's some talk about the strike in chat. What I'm curious of is which company relies the most on the effect of advertising through the entertainment industry. So who makes the most money based off of their the ads that they sell to the industry affected? If we can figure that out, there's probably a good options play to be made. Puts.
I mean, doesn't like most all of Meta's incomes is from advertising?
Well, no. What I mean is, so, like, let's say Coca-Cola, right? Just for the sake of argument, it's probably not Coca-Cola, but I'm thinking Coca-Cola, right? You've got their ads in movie theaters, you've got their ads on TV programs or streaming shows or whatever. Suddenly, there's fewer shows that are advertising Coca-Cola on their commercial breaks, right? So if people aren't thinking Coca-Cola as much, boop, there goes the I made the wrong little sound effect, but there goes the revenue down because there are fewer people that are thinking about the product because there's less advertising for it.
I don't think Coca-Cola. It's probably a small percentage of the advertising for Coke. But I will say, is this going to last a long, long time? I lost the work because of the pandemic in the movie business, and now I'm going to lose another probably a year or more. This is not going to end quickly.
Well, just the general concept is there's somebody who relies on people seeing their ads to make money because that's their business model, and they're going to have to pivot. And so I think there's going to be a window of time where they're going to lose revenue because of this. Whoever it is, if we could figure out who it is, that would probably be.
There are some digital negotiators. There are a few ticker symbols that are digital negotiators of advertising. And if you click on a link that leads you, I guess, through their server onto the next piece of advertising, that's their, well, I mean, that's the model of their business. That's what they're trying to have happen. Is you're off somewhere, and then the advertising is very relevant to you. That's another aspect of AI, is making the advertising relevant, actually to specifically you. Like I'm dealing with all the stuff that I normally deal with. My trucks, so I have trucks, and then porcelain antiques. So I got like porcelain antique advertising, and also Coca-Cola.
Hey, sorry, I gotta just pop in here real quick. I gotta go to work and stuff. But I wanted to say that there actually might be an opportunity here to go long on gaming companies.
You're cutting in and out. You're cutting in and out real bad.
Sorry. Maybe I'll just type it. But the writer strike and actor strike is a good opportunity for these companies to get rid of bad talent and get out of enforced and have a force majeure and cut contracts due to it, and then use AI in order to write the stories for them. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye on this, but I think it's actually a good opportunity to go long, believe it or not.
Long on what?
Oh, Paramount, Comcast, every publicly traded company that kind of has that produces content.
Speaking of somebody with some ties to the entertainment industry, I take the polar opposite view of this. So I guess, we'll see what the chickens foretell. But no, the thing with AI is it's not ready for prime time yet. As far as it's coming. Don't get me wrong. If anybody's ever watched the show Carol and Tuesday, I think that is.
I don't know.
We are definitely not there yet.
I think it's definitely being implemented already in terms of advertising revenues, and also you got to remember, like, there's different applications for AI, and its number one application, okay, is association with human beings. So if you can categorize human being behavior, which you absolutely can, and you would use AI, in fact, to create subfolders or create a directory based on certain behaviors. That directory didn't previously exist. People
yeah. Well, I agree, but we were talking about script writing. So script writing, the thing with the AI is the technology is too new. There aren't very many people who are that good at prompting. I mean, certainly there are people who are very good, but I don't think enough to replace an entire industry. You have to be creative.
This is one of the scare of this scare is one of the reasons why they're striking. Like, it's specifically written into the contract negotiations.
Yeah, the contracts are garbage, so strike.
Because they're scared that they're going to lose their jobs to AI.
I don't think that it's going to be able to make up for the lack of people due to the strike. Is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, if you're out there making subcategories, and if you're filing people's purchasing behavior and you're using hanging file folders, yeah, I would say that your job's at risk. If that's your marketing approach these days, yeah, your job's going to be definitely at risk. But I mean, if you're good with computers and you can sign clients, well, there you go. Your job's not at risk. So I don't think they're going to lose their jobs. I think their job's fundamentally going to change if they insist on filing with hanging file folders, and they keep that up. Yeah, they'll lose their jobs. But that's a boring job. That's it's not creative. It's not going to be very productive. It doesn't serve clients. It's going to go away. So the boring dumb jobs are going to go away. The exciting, the exciting stuff will stay around. By the way, sorry, monopolizing time. But don't really intend to. But Fisker has moved up 5%.
Really?
Now this was, people were talking about they're talking about Mullen, and not. Okay, this is not my area of. This is not my specialty. But Fisker has been delivering vehicles, and I believe in the electric vehicle business. I think the measurement for being successful is creating and marketing electric vehicle, building it, and then delivering it. And I think their numbers are actually pretty good. So it's also an earnings play because let's go into this. I don't want to do this. I don't have the money to do this. Like I'm in. Didn't necessarily want to do that. Fisker loses money, folks. I'm trying to see when they are going to be reporting. All the way up to August 4th. So you see, we might start seeing a little bit of the speculation for Fisker's earnings happening in the market today. Not saying that we are. It's a risky game that we play, but you keep your eye on it. That's a good move by Fisker. This,
Mic on.
What's that?
Your mic on.
Yeah, it's on.
Let me know when you shut it.
Okay. But first, I got to figure out what I'm going to do about this. August 4th. Okay, so all the way up to August 4th. Really?
Well, I know I'm the Wayfair put guy, but I just flipped some calls, got in at 2 and sold at 2.5. At least I made up some of my losses this morning.
Dang, got it.
Y'all, did Evergrande ever finally collapse?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so So Fisker's on like a little bit of a bump. What you don't want to do is just start outright buying it. That's just, you don't want to do that. But what you do want to do is you want to see what the sentiment is, what the analysts have to say. Hmm. 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 And then try to, you could feasibly lowball your way in to this move. So establish your own price. And the one that I would want would be just after their earnings, or on the day up. No, after their earnings, slightly in the money. Didn't like that. Okay, so I cannot adequately play this one at the moment, but they buy to open one contract, a Fisker for August 11th, slightly in $6 strike price, and I told you I can't execute on this one, but I have a bid for 5 cents a share, so $5. And it's trading at 92 for the bid and $1.11 for the ask. So obviously, I'm not going to get filled. It'd be bonanza if I do, but it's not going to happen. But I didn't want to forget about it, so I'm making it a legitimate order. Let Tesla earnings come out and see what that doesn't do to the price of Fisker. You see, and see, so Tesla.
I apologize. I thought it would let you back on automatically like the old Reddit used to. But it doesn't.
Tesla's earnings come out on the 19th, so it's going to be Wednesday.
Speaking of vehicles, 7-Eleven is expanding so much. It is impressive. I would keep an eye on it. And of course, expansion costs money, but after the expansion is complete, it makes money, right? So we're looking at that. And on that note, with all these electric cars, I think whoever has the best convenience stores for charging your vehicle is going to come out on top.
Wawa, but they're not public.
Well, of course, Sheetz is the best convenience store, and they're not public. But whoever's public, whoever has the best publicly traded convenience store, is going to come out on top. Sheetz for life, yo.
Hmm.
Have you turned that off yet?
Just to explain how aggressive the expansion's been with 7-Eleven, they have bought Speedway. They bought all the A plus like Sunoco convenience stores, and nearby they bought a bowling alley, demolished it, and they are constructing the most beautiful 7-Eleven I have ever seen in my life. So if they're making moves like this so effortlessly, I think there's a lot of money that's going to be coming in a quarter or two.
What's the ticker for 7-Eleven? Can you guys hear me?
It's an ADR because it's primarily owned by the Japanese. So that's SVNDY.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It really seems like they're starting to bring the Japanese innovations to the United States market. And I understand why they were hesitant with that, just because, you're not sure it's going to work, right? Very, very different market here for convenience stores, but I think it's going to pay off. And then who knows, we might get some, even more cool snack flavors. So, because my brain is just so swollen right now. Oh goodness, let me clear my throat. Because my brain is so swollen, thus making me big brains, I have an idea. I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of AI scams coming through, specifically scams on AI usage. And of course, the scams are going to go for public trading. So probably a good bunch of bear plays, good bunch of puts to buy coming in the pipeline over the next, I'd say, year or so. Because there's going to be people that have no idea what they're talking about, but are going to act like they do for money. And we can make money off of the people that they're duping. Because those people are going to have no idea what they're looking at.
Yes, they just put out an article about that.
So, is there any way to short entertainment executives. I want to short entertainment executives.
You know, it's rumored Kathleen Kennedy's fired. Big buzz going around. Her email has gotten disconnected.
Fired from where?
Wow.
She's the head of Lucasfilms, dude.
If her email has been disabled, that's actual verifiable evidence. There's been a whole industry of stupid rumors for about, I don't know,
I
2
know
or 3
the
years.
fucking thing sucked, but this one looks like it's actually checking out. We will see, though. We will see. But this is the first step that Disney needs to take before it starts turning the ship around, so I'm excited.
True, but on the other hand, the thing is, people keep blaming Kathleen Kennedy specifically when a lot of things that people haven't liked have come up from higher up in the food chain, right? So, yeah, there's Kathleen Kennedy, but there's also the fact that these bad decisions are being made by Disney itself. And that's not to say that Kathleen Kennedy is probably the wrong person to execute effectively on what Disney's asking. But on the same token, it could also just be that Disney's asking things that are so unbelievably stupid that they don't work with anybody. I mean, come on, you're talking about the company that destroyed LucasArts. They owned LucasArts, and rather than sell it, spin it off or whatever, they just erased it.
Yeah, there was a great meme yesterday, like some video that they made where it was Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, and Mickey Mouse, and they were all discussing sort of like bullet point timeline of how Disney got to where it was today, and it was just so filled with good information in a comical way, and yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, Chapek was an idiot. I mean, Iger really screwed the pooch on that one. And he screwed up so bad with Chapek, he even admitted it and came back to rescue the company. I mean, who does that? Who leaves their retirement to fix their mistake unless they really screwed up just that monumentally? Chapek reminded me of, oh god, who was it? Eisner. Except worse. In any case, a lot of things that people complain about with the way that Lucasfilm has been run, the problems people talk about are not the actual problems that it's having. And I wonder often if a lot of the rumor mill hasn't been a way to sort of deflect from what's actually been happening, and also possibly, since it's the hot thing to do right now, play the insurance game and claim that it's the environment or whatever.
The Disney hate, like the Disney hate, is so skewed right wing. It's pretty toxic. That's why I just try and get to the information, But I guess they really took that grandma kiss a little bit personal or something in Lightyear.
Yeah, it's like the people who are complaining about Star Trek being diverse. Star Trek or political.
I haven't heard that one. That's really That's really funny, actually.
Yeah, it is so bad. Like, especially since we are in the time period of a lot of social upheaval in the Star Trek timeline, right? And weirdly enough, the eugenics wars and Khan and all that notwithstanding, they did predict sort of a lot of the issues that we're having now, or at least the terminology used. Like Star Trek had what was it, sanctuary districts
Well,
in the 2020s, and we're complaining about sanctuary cities in the real
it's funny
world.
to me. It's funny to me because it's always been diverse.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah. And people are complaining about it, but I guess it's because the diversity of the old Star Treks seems mundane by today's standards.
I mean, remember when Captain Kirk was like trying to dick down a bunch of green alien chicks? I mean, how much more diverse can you get?
And then you had that species that one side was black and the other side was white, but then they were at war with the people who were the other way around.
So good. So good.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Okay, I gotta get to work. Sorry. But yeah, good talking. Good talking. I miss you, Shepherdess. Good talking.
Oh, thank you. But don't get me wrong, like Star Trek Discovery's pacing is pretty bad. And Star Trek Strange New Worlds is amazing because it goes back to a more procedural format. But I'm stunned at the people that are complaining about things that are not new, that have always been there in whatever content, and it makes me wonder if, again, part of this isn't some complicated, convoluted insurance scam where you find a few agitators, you leak information to them, some of it false, some of it true, and then you go for your insurance company and say it wasn't your fault that you put out a terrible product, or get a tax write-off or whatever. That's exhausting.
So Rocket Lab is up 5.3%. Price right now is $6.66. That does not bode well for their launch this evening. Hope the price changes to a different price. $6.90 would be a much better price.
I gotta head out, but it's been good. It's been good talking to everybody again. I'm hoping to get the energy to show up more often, but we'll see. Turns out I just had that much on my plate. I was stranded for a week. Had a car tire blow. That was fun.
Stranded?
Yep. Because nobody had my tire size.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So who was talking about Fisker before?
That would be the guy that sounds almost exactly like Nicolas Cage.
Because I'm looking at this. They've had negative EPS. Whew. Negative return on capital, negative return on assets. Negative free cash flow.
Okay, so for people who are writing things down, just creating a study of the earnings season. One of the tickers is Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited, RCL. I was thinking of the phonetic alphabet. RCL. Now, they report on the
Romeo Charlie Lima.
Yeah, there you go.
Charlie
Thank you.
Lima.
I would have got it, but I was trying to explain my silence. But so they are going to come in close to Carnival Cruise Line earnings. They're going to have similar. They have similar structure, similar business, similar ships, similar distant destinations, and Carnival Cruise Line came in pretty good. So this is the ply that is likely not. This is a ticker that's likely not to disappoint. And so when there's something that is a certainty or a very good likelihood, people will play off of this. So once again, it's not going to make you rich, but there's a profitable play to be made. Either shares or call options, whichever one. I'm going to be. So I guess today, tomorrow, I guess I'm going to be deciding how I'm going to be playing this. I'm going to be playing it as if it was going up. So for the earnings, Romeo, Charlie, Lima. Then you have Fisker. Then you have this one I don't know too much about, which is NEOG. Earnings announcement also on the 27th. Expected to have a 62.5% increased revenue. And then there's one other one, Applied Digital, APLD. There's another one that is notable, but trades on the OTC. So this is a little bit different. And that is SDVKY. And my Blackstone Incorporated option. Let's take a look because I haven't been in it very long. I wasn't expecting to stay in it anyways. It was supposed to be just a temporary thing. A day or two later, I guess it's going back up. All right. So I'm down $31 on I don't know. It's about a $250 call option. Strike of 106. So we'll see how that pans out for me. This is Blackstone Incorporated. So as far as the earnings whisperer was concerned, they're expected to report substantial percentage-wise increase in revenue. And they're also trading at a high. But they're trading at their 52-week high. So now in my notes, I'm also going to make for Blackstone. Incorporated, I am going to include a note on this other ticker. Okay, it is Blackstone Mortgage Trust. I believe that this is a publicly traded division of Blackstone. Just trying to get over and over, just trying to get what the tickers are, for the earnings, and also not just to buy them, folks, to try to lowball them. Okay, so we need to figure out who the players are, who the contenders are, what the tickers are, and then we need to figure out the lowball, and then from there you have to trade your own account. So however many orders that you can put out, you lowball them, if possible. Because some of these, a few of them are not going to even move south at all. But look at BX. It was up earlier, and now it's down. So you could get into that option, $30 cheaper than what I did. So that's my activity. So I'll probably I'll create notes for like the earnings season, maybe. I don't know what I would call it, but upcoming earnings, notable tickers. I guess I'll get near like the end of the day, I'll post that. There was a ticker sci-fi. S-I. Oh, F-Y? Oh, do I have that right? This is not an American company. Yeah. So, yeah, if you actually, it's up 11% today. Now, this would have been really good for me because I purchased it on Thursday. But I just, knowing that all of the other tickers and some of the other opportunities, I just put in a sell order. So this is the one that I sold at like 7:01 a.m. this morning. So pre-market. Sold it at like 298, and then it went straight back down to 270. And now it's up to 301. This one is notable because it comes from the same source. That source being earningswhisperers.com. They're expected to report large increases in revenue. Doesn't necessarily translate into increases in profit. It's just playing the tools that the other players are using. That's essentially what these positions, the positions that I'm noting, are about. Like, for example, do I think it's particularly great industry? No. Do I think they have awesome product? No, I don't. I'm just going on based on what the anticipated increase in revenues are going to be. Then they may come out and disappoint. So you don't necessarily want to hang around forever. Yeah, so I think you could sci-fi. I think you could still probably lowball this one. You might even still be able to get it at 270. Low market cap. Okay. High price earnings. Low market cap. Doesn't particularly have a lot of volume either. So there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to buy and hold this. But if you put in a low ball, that does make sense. See?
Hey, everyone. Thanks for your insights today. Have a great trading day. Take care.
So that's it for folks.
What do you want, Gigi?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just always I'm working on my notes. I'm working on I need to know what everybody is doing so that I can, pick the best ideas. There you go. Hey guys.
Well, I'm about to post a massive DD, so that's what I'm stuck on right now.
I'm picking up. I got in the truck and I'm picking up tools. There was a guy in Atlanta. He gave away about $1,000 worth of tools for free. And yesterday, I couldn't pick them all up. So, I mean, I have them sort of distributed around this town that I live in because I was moving around yesterday.
U.S. relationship with Israel. So I'll clarify that she is not worried. Israel is a nation, is a racist nation, but accused of Netanyahu.
Nobody.
Israeli president. It's a visits Washington. You don't think like that?
Yeah, I mean, it could. Yeah, it could.
Whoever's got that on in the background, maybe pause your video.
I sent your toolbox down off of the table because it was pretty heavy.
But is Abe converting to
It's there on the
AMC?
ground.
When it feels like it, man. When it feels like it.
Always tomorrow.
Alright, let's try posting this up, and when Visual Mod blocks it, I'm going to throw something at Opinion. Let's do it.
And I like those implied volatility catches for the earnings. So I don't know what you guys do about stuff like this, but I give you an idea about like the Atlanta area. So now I pick up just, several filled up toolboxes of tools free. And that was yesterday. And I was hot. I was tired. This morning, there's beautiful antique furniture given away for free. Having a pickup truck is pretty cheap and something like that. But also, there's a guy here apparently in the Atlanta area, and his company is putting them up in a furnished apartment. So this is after he left the last place that he was, which was not in the state of Georgia. And so he was expecting to have to furnish his own place. But that's not the case at the moment. So he has 2 room fulls of stuff, furniture, all kinds of accessories or whatever you might want for a room, and storage. And so it's just going over to a storage facility, and he's giving it away for free. And I find it like every other day. That one, personally, I'm not going to. Because I don't need it to just be something. I mean, if I owned like a thrift store rooms to go, something like that, it'd be great. I don't. Stuff like that happens like every day in this city.
What happened to Rad? Did he manage to post his DD?
I just saw that he was complaining that he was blocked by I had mentioned PVL. I had mentioned lowballing PVL. I don't want people to just lose money on my account. Dude, granted, it's not a terrible package. It's not 15% different. But almost anytime that you see trust, closed-in fund, okay, that's not you want to stipulate the price because they change very, very different than other tickers. Low volume, there's not a lot of changing hands. You just put in a low order and you wait for the egg stock trade. That's like